Hey Lifetree, Pastor Dan here with your daily tree minutes of encouragement for you. And today, just want to get a little political for a minute. I don't know if you know this, but as of today, Donald Trump's approval rating, our President Trump, his approval rating is somewhere around 43 or 44%. That means 43 or 44% of our country agrees with the decisions that he's making and thinks he's doing a good job as president. And so I just want to ask you, what would be your approval rating in your own household right now? What would the numbers come back and tell us if we took a poll of everybody who lives with you? So I just want to say, listen, if you have 100% approval rating right now, if 100%, the peak, you probably live alone. Because I can tell you that even in my own house, I probably, I definitely do not have a 100% approval rating right now. I mean, it depends on the day, certain ones, but never all at the same time. There's a funny saying, it says, I can only please one person per day, and today is not your day, and tomorrow's not looking good either. It's tough pleasing people. It's tough keeping everybody happy, especially when you're trying to do your best. It's just not always what everybody else wants. And just thinking about that, it's really interesting. The Apostle Paul talks about that in Galatians chapter 1, verse 10. He says this. Says obviously, starts with obviously, like you should know this because everybody should know it. Obviously, I'm not trying to win the approval of people, he says, of anybody. I'm not trying to win the approval of any people, he says, but of God. And he says this, if pleasing people were my goal, I would not be Christ's servant. And it's interesting. He just says basically that you cannot seek to please people and God. You can please people or God, but not people and God. You got to pick. You got to choose one or the other. You can't be a servant to people or a servant to God, right? You've got to pick. You got to pick. And I just want to encourage you today that, however you're living today, make sure that you're living for the approval of the only one that matters. And don't use this as a license to say, so it doesn't matter what people think, and I don't care about people, and people can go take a hike. It's not about that. It's just that we're not living for their approval. I absolutely serve people, but I serve them because I first serve Christ, because I serve Jesus. Everything I do is in devotion to Him. I don't serve people because they deserve it. I serve people because God loves me, and my love for Him compels me to serve them because I'm living for His approval. I'm living for the approval of God, the approval of one, an audience of one. And so I just want to tell you today, obviously we're not here trying to get the approval of people, but the approval of God. He's the only one that matters. And He's the only one that really it's going to count in the end anyway. So release you from the burden of people's approval and just encourage you that you can live for God's approval. As long as you're faithful to Him, you've got it. So love you, church. Can't wait to see you again soon. God bless you.